Well, sources are telling me tonight that gun was stashed in this prisoner's buttocks, and he managed to get into this prisoner transport van undetected after he saw a judge. And now 2 police officers are in the hot seat, and another prisoner is in the hospital tonight with that gunshot wound to the leg. Now, within the last 10 minutes, the suspect, Louis Soto, went before a judge for the second night in a row. Pix 11 cameras were the only ones inside of the courtroom. You see him as he was brought in with his hands behind his back under heavy security. He was remanded into custody, and he is now going to be sent back to the Westchester County Jail tonight, 24 hours after this harrowing incident unfolded. The shooting happened while the prisoners were being brought to the jail inside of a Mount Vernon police transport van, 7 o'clock last night. Officials say that the person was shot by a fellow prisoner who'd smuggled the gun into the vehicle on his body. As cops heard the shot go off mid-ride, they turned around, raced back here to police headquarters, where 5 prisoners were offloaded and secured. Police say Louis Soto was the man who had the loaded .22 caliber revolver. But how it got past multiple layers of security is what's being investigated right now. Soto's a 32-year-old Bronx man who had been arrested on Wednesday initially for allegedly sexually assaulting a minor. Now he's facing multiple charges related to the shooting. As a result, police are overhauling their security protocols, knowing full well how much more serious this could have been.
He seen the judge reprimanded him to Valhalla. So that means he stood before the judge with the weapon on him. He got in the transport van with the weapon on him. So all them times they never patted him down, that weapon was still on him.
Yo, good buddy. I don't know if it was one of his ops. Somebody was laughing at him, kikiing. I've heard of something like this before though. But to smuggle it in the prison wallet, as they say, in the butt crack, in the cheeks, you had to be on a mission. And not only that, okay, obviously you weren't trying to escape, right? You popped the cap in another inmate while y'all riding, right? So I don't know if what was the reason? You was just trying to take this guy out? I mean, you got arrested on some heinous charges, right? For one, on some chomo-ish, right? But he stood in front of the judge with it, even though he was handcuffed. And I'm assuming this whole thing is wild because obviously he's being transported to the jail, if you will. So the squat and cough, obviously they patted good buddy down, but they didn't have him do a squat and cough. They just patted him down for weapons. So my man, when he was getting arrested, he tucked it in between the cheeks and probably had the cheeks squeezed, pause, had them squeezed tight. And you decide while they're driving, from my understanding, I'll probably have to go back and listen to it, while they're riding, you retrieve it from the prison wallet and you squeeze on another dude, and you had, was it 4 rounds left? And they're going to get into this other clip. I didn't finish watching it. From my understanding, this was obviously a .22 revolver. But dudes, man, goodness. Sheesh, bro. Like, you would think he would try to go for the driver or commandeer the vehicle, for lack of a better term, and be like, yo, we're not going to jail. We making another turn. Bro, I don't know, man. But let's play this video here.
Suspected gun smuggler Louis Soto walked into Mount Vernon court Friday night under heavy security. Only Pix 11 was there for his second trip in front of Judge Tamika Cloverdale in 24 hours.
He does pose an extreme flight risk.
Thursday, the same judge ordered him to the county lockup for child sex abuse charges. Soto was then handcuffed and loaded into this prisoner transport van with 4 other prisoners by Mount Vernon police officers. Remarkably, sources say Soto managed to stash a .22 caliber revolver in his buttocks the entire time, and while en route to jail, allegedly shot a fellow prisoner in the leg.
The officers reported hearing a single gunshot from the rear of the van. The officers immediately returned to police headquarters, where additional department personnel assisted in safely offloading the prisoners.
The Mount Vernon Police Department in Westchester County launching a joint investigation into how Soto slipped the gun past so many layers of security since his arrest October 15th. Sources say it's possible he had it hidden on him in the courtroom too.
So all them times they never patted him down, that weapon was still on him? That's unresponsible, it's unacceptable.
Outrage from the community as the department overhauls its search protocol for all inmates again.
The use of the department's magnetometer handheld wand is now mandatory for all new prisoner processings. The use of it was optional previously.
The two officers directly involved have been put on desk duty, while the 32-year-old Bronx man said nothing as he was remanded to jail once more on the gun charges.
Yo, money earning Mount Vernon. Now, for one, you guys know New York City, man, you can't really, from my understanding, the gun laws are so strict there, you can't even own a gun unless you're law enforcement or something along those lines, or you happen to go through some extreme lengths to have a pistol. This dude had one, and the fact that he could have, if he was handcuffed in the vehicle, he could have pulled it out in the courtroom and just did some damage. So I don't know where this guy, obviously he knew what he was doing. You handcuff, you reach between the crack, you pull it out, and you fire on a dude. Bro, I don't know. I think it's over for you, my man. And yeah, those officers, even though he said it was optional, right? That's what, I don't know if that's the commissioner or whoever that is, the captain. It was optional. So those guys were put on desk duty because they didn't detect that this dude had a pistol in between the cheeks. So this is a little bit insane if I do say so myself. I thought it was this video where he described the type of weapon that it was. From my understanding, it was a revolver. He fired that shot, and I think he had like 4 left in there. So my man could have took out a few folks, or I don't want to say taken out, but you could still kill somebody with a 22. Goodness. I would like to hear the story. You know what I'm saying? This dude appears in front of the judge. They take him and then bring him back before the judge. Like 7 o'clock at night. Yes, my man said, yo, I'm going to go out with a bang. I would like to hear the motivation behind all of that and why he just thought that was a good idea, or what was going through his mind to actually pull that off, in my opinion. You feel me? So, yeah. Anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think. Comment below. This is an insane story. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Much blessings and abundance. Stick around for the next video that's going to pop up on the screen below. That's where I'm going to see you guys at. It's your favorite everything. This is Wisdom. I'm the best. Let's run it up to 1 million. Quit playing with me. Peace.